we do have some questions that I would like to ask. And the way I would like to do this, I would like to ask specifically to one of the panelists, and again, then give the co-presenter a chance to weigh in should they choose to. And we'll go back and forth and give everybody a chance to respond to some of our questions here. So with that in mind, I'd like to start with you, Dushan. How often do you apply deep learning in fraud detection?
That's a good question. I'm sure that's a question that we hear a lot and comes across a lot. So I think that deep learning has a lot of implementations in niche and related fields. I wouldn't say that it's a core technology that any company uses for most of its fraud detection systems, but it definitely can do things that otherwise other traditional and cutting edge machine learning processes can't do. So facial recognition using CNNs is one of those areas. And Leanne mentioned speech recognition. That's usually where deep learning is also used. And with any other kind of unstructured data, clickstream data, or time series data, people use LSTMs. And so those are all forms of deep learning. So that's probably where I would say it's like I said, it's not probably the mainstream use. It's not something that I would advise anybody to start off with if they're trying to get into machine learning, because usually for small data sets, it does actually worse than the state-of-the-art machine learning. It can be costly as well to develop and requires deeper expertise, but it's great for particular use cases where other state-of-the-art machine learning can simply not do a good job, and getting that last mile out of your gas tank if you just want to improve things, if you have a lot of data already, because that's really where it makes an impact. So yeah, we have several projects where deep learning is appropriate and basically where it's not internally.
Thank you for that reply, Dushan. I'd like to offer Leanne the opportunity to talk about the application of deep learning in fraud detection. Anything to add to that, Leanne?
Yeah, I want to talk about the deep learning application in transaction fraud detection. So as a fraud models, the target variable usually is a binary variable, it's a 0, 1. So it may not be very useful to use deep learning in the final layers of the prediction. So for the deep learning application, you may think about using the deep learning in the feature engineering process and generate the features that can be used as the final model input, and then get the predictions as a binary variable. So I would suggest that you can try to generate the features using the deep learning, and then the final models using the traditional ML methodology, and the model itself will decide that whether those features generated as output of deep learning methodology is good for the prediction or not.